one of the blokes there. I can't remember who it is, but he's on both chats. He's always here. He's here, there, and everywhere. But he did say this was a typical Mike Tomlin trap game. And I had to prove him wrong because the typical Mike Tomlin trap game makes no sense. The Steelers now are 13-4 after a bye. That's a pretty good record for meant to be a typical Mike Tomlin week trap game. And that's why I went on my little rant yesterday, because it's when the information is wrong and doesn't make any sense in those terms. When a Mike Tomlin hater or a Mike Tomlin guy who doesn't like him tries to critique him, but the information is wrong, it friggin' fucking fires me up, because he tried to say that Mike Tomlin had a poor record after the bye, which in reality he doesn't. Mike Tomlin's got a great record after the bye, 13-4, and he proved that yesterday. So there was no trap game versus the Commanders, and if anything, we were the underdog in the game yesterday. We won by a point. We snuck away with a victory. We kneeled down. They jumped off sides, and here we are looking at 7-2. So this wasn't a trap game, but I liked what he did, because he tried to link two arguments together. That was having the bye and linking it to a loss after. But then the stats back it up and prove them wrong. And that's why I think a lot of this Mike Tomlin stuff, this is why I'm such a I guess I can be a certain defender, not a Washington, D.C. defender, but a defender for Mike Tomlin, because he gets so much shit. He gets so much shit delivered his way in these people who try and throw so much rubbish on Mike Tomlin. And he's a good coach. He's got this team, doing backflips. He's got this team winning football games and winning 4 in a row. And the Mike Tomlin crowd out there is so quiet. They must be on holidays.
I'm going to slam way out of the park here, Burnsy.
Yeah, sir.
Burnsy. There's one good thing here. You still after a bye. This is normally a Tomlin trap game. No, it's not, Burnsy. After the bye week, the Steelers are now 13-4 after a bye week. If that's a trap game, then that's unbelievable, Burnsy.
Get him. I love you, Brian. He was busting my chops the whole game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is the inconsistency of like the information out there. There's no trap game of Tomlin in bye weeks. He is now 13-4 after a bye week.
Well, trap games don't exist in the NFL.
A trap game would be a team that's actually way bad, like a 3-6 team, and we go in and we lose that game. So that to me would be a trap game. Washington was 7-2.
That's what I love about these comments and why I'm so supportive of Mike Tomlin. And here are the positive comments. Mike Tomlin gets so much shit about everything about what he does. And this comment tells you that you don't know exactly what the bye record is. The bye record is 13-4. How is that a trap game?
It's not. This was not a trap game, Burns.
There's no stats that tell this is a trap game, because Mike Tomlin is very prepared after a bye week. He's 13 wins and 4 losses. There is 0 trap game. Yeah. That's false information. That makes no sense to make that. But you make that comment anyway because you don't like Mike Tomlin. So therefore, Burns, you're wrong.
Hey.
No. Come back a bit. No, whatever. I'm
get him.
I'm on a feel here. Come back a minute, Burns. Come back. Tomlin never had a trap game. No, I'm not talking about a trap game in general. I'm talking about this. One good thing this year, Steelers won after a bye week. That this is normally a Tomlin trap game. Therefore, linking the bye week to normally a Tomlin trap game. Normally, however, it's not normal because it's 13-4 wins after a bye week is not normally a thing that Tomlin does.
Burns, not a trap game. It's not a trap game, Burns. It's not a trap game because we have a winning bye week, 13-4. How's that a trap, Burns? It's a trap game if we lost to like the Arizona Cardinals last year when we were supposed to win, and to the Patriots. Now that's a trap game, Burns. Today was not a trap game.
Tony says, well, the chances are pretty high. I think that he needs to be in conversation, coach of the year, because the NFL media, the guys who vote for the coach of the year, they put all this pressure on certain coaches and write narratives and storylines for whatever may happen, right? So I would say that his chances are probably like 25%, maybe higher, maybe 40%, 50%. But there are a few coaches for me in the way. There's the Lions coach, Dan Campbell. He had a great season last year. This season, 8-1. He's got a great record. He's a great coach for his team. They're looking to go for that number 1 overall AFC and NFC seed. And the bloody Chiefs. The Chiefs are in the way too. I think the Chiefs, Andy Reid can coach of the year. Last year, they gave it to the Browns for some reason. but Andy Reid is having his team not lose a game yet. So he's up there with Coach of the Year. So what needs to happen, is Mike Tomlin has to go through this gauntlet, right? And I've shown it a million times, this gauntlet. They got to go through this, beat Commanders. They pretty much got to win like 7 out of 9 games or 8 out of 9 games, I think, for the Steelers. And if they beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day and the Steelers go 13-4 or 14-3 and win the AFC, they come first as the first seed in the AFC, then yes, Mike Tomlin will be consideration for Coach of the Year. He has to be, because of the amount of pressure every single NFL media outlet out there, AFC North fans, Browns fans, Bengals fans, everybody was saying that this team was toast and they had no real direction. They didn't sign Najee Harris. They signed 2 quarterbacks. Who's going to be the quarterback controversy? All that kind of crap. Then they gave Mike Tomlin crap as well. In the midway point of the 4-2, why would you change back to Russell Wilson when Fields is doing so well? You change to Wilson because he's scoring 26 points a game, like Sean said. That's why you change. That's why Mike Tomlin it should be considered Coach of the Year. And also, he has a harder schedule. You're versing AFC North. You're winning games like that game with the Commanders. If you only drop 3 or 4 games a season and you win the AFC, you come first in the AFC. And if you beat the Chiefs at your house, then yes, definitely should be in consideration for Coach of the Year. He just better do it. I just want to see people start to just give him some respect. And the real hang up is, we haven't won a playoff game in 7 years. But this team is so different to last year in terms of Russell Wilson just going crazy. Here we go,